Good evening. A special edition of Larry King Live tonight. We're calling the program Beyond the Power of Positive Thinking, How to Change Your Life. How to use the power of your imagination and mind to create what you want in your life. Our guest can help you do that. John Assaraf, as a teenager, John risked the potentially fatal consequences of a turbulent lifestyle, which could have easily landed him in jail or the morgue. But today he's written a New York Times best-selling book and built 4 multi-million-dollar companies. We've calling the show The Power of Positive Thinking. How do you harness that, John Assaraf?
I think you've got to make a decision, Larry. You know, we've got 2 choices to make with whatever the situation is. Number one, it could be negative or it could be positive. Our choice is what makes the biggest difference in all of the equation, is making the choice to look at something positively. Even though the negative side is there, I think that's what we have to do.
What do you do, though, John Assaraf, about bad events? I mean, terrible events. Your house burns down.
Everything that happens to us, we have a choice again of making a decision how we perceive that and how we react to that. And we can have our house burning right in front of us and things could be devastating in front of us, but our decision to interpret that is what makes the entire difference, and we always have that choice. We are genetically wired a certain way, and 50% of our propensities, the way we think and behave, are genetic in nature. Then we're raised by the same people who gave us their genetics. And so we get conditioned to believe and think and behave consistently day in and day out. We call it a self-fulfilling doom loop that we get into. And the first part is awareness. The first part is awareness that I don't have to live this way anymore. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to think this way anymore. And become aware of it. That's number one. Then you set a new vision for yourself, and scientifically, just the latest brain research suggests that it takes at least 30 days of mental reprogram to start seeing the differentiation between your old self and the new self.
Your past results, okay, do not represent what you're capable of achieving.
Well, from the age of 13 to about 19, I was involved with a group of kids that spent a lot of time on the streets, and what I really wanted to do was make money. I came from a family who had wonderful love and wonderful environment, but money wasn't something that my family knew how to make, and I wanted to live a better life. And I really took myself to educating myself about what does it really take to make money, what does it take to build a company, what does it take to have a great life. And fortunately for me, when I was 19, I found some wonderful mentors who asked me some great questions.
And so if you don't believe in your if you really don't believe in your product or service, stop doing it. Stop telling yourself a story that you've got to do it just because I need the money, I need something, I need to make an income.
And part of me believed them because they always told me that if you didn't go to school, if you didn't get a degree, you couldn't get a job, you couldn't take care of your family. So there was something that was nagging at me my whole life was, you know, that's what people that I respected told me. Not my parents, fortunately, but everybody else said that.
To win in the game of life, you've got to focus on winning the game of life.
We work with business owners all over the world, and that's what we do. And the first thing we tell them is if you could figure out how to serve another human being, if you could figure out how to give them your product or your service and figure out how to get that to the masses and serve them and do well for them, you'll be rewarded with riches.
On my door was a vision board. We saw the kids, it had the wife, it had the job, the palm trees for retirement.
It's a time
palm trees, okay. And what are vision boards? And I understand you have a story about this with regard to visualization.
Many years ago, I looked at another way to represent some of the materialistic things I wanted to achieve in my life, whether it was a car or a house or anything. And so I started cutting out pictures of things that I wanted. And I had put those vision boards up, and every day for probably about just 2 to 3 minutes, I would sit in my desk and I would look at my board and I'd close my eyes and I'd see myself having the dream car and the dream home and the money in the bank that I wanted and the money that I wanted to have for charity. 5 years later, my one son, Keenan, came up to my office and he sat on the boxes and said, you know, Daddy, what's in the boxes? And I said, they're my vision boards, and they've been in those boxes for 5 years. And so he didn't understand. So I pulled out one of the vision boards after opening up the box, and there was a nice car and another little trinket that I wanted to buy. And when I opened up or pulled out the second vision board, there was a picture of the home that I was living in right now. That's right. That I'd been living in for a year, had renovated it, and didn't even know. I swear to God.
He phoned me within 2 or 3 minutes of that.
How do we form the habits we have?
There's really 2 parts of our brain. One is the conscious mind, which we now know is only responsible for only 2 to 4% of our behaviors. So we could have the desire, the want, the need, the passion for change, But there's another side of our psyche, the non-conscious mind, that we now know controls 96 to 98% of our conditioned way of doing, being, seeing, and behaving every single day. So you can have the desire, but you have this program running at a non-conscious level that's going to keep you at your status quo, whether you're a drug addict, whether you're broke. That's why most people, Larry, who win the lottery, for example, 86% of them give away all the money. It's because they are conditioned at a non-conscious level to be broke. Their self-image and their self-worth is going to dictate their self-wealth. And that, by the way, I heard from this great guy, John DeMartini. If anybody wants to have more, whether it's a business, whether it's more money, they have to become more. And the only way to do that, okay, first is to educate yourself. And our society has gotten lost in teaching children how to memorize. Education is when we learn something, we get instructions on how to do something, and then we experience it. That is really the education that we want. And so that, for me, is pick a lane. Pick something that you can choose to move your life forward to the next level.
Our subject has been Beyond the Power of Positive Thinking, How to Change Your Life. We hope we've helped you.